Good afternoon, everyone. So I guess you started with the current affairs also today. Current affairs वीकली था या क्या था? It was वीकली 1st August से. So we'll continue with the geography then. See, in the yesterday's lecture we did that Earth is divided into different eras, eons, epoch, periods, etc. Based on this, we see what is the geological history of the Earth. Geological history, constructing the history, इस period में क्या हुआ था. So when the Earth was formed, there was no oxygen. The hydrogen था, helium था, there was large amount of carbon dioxide, there was large amount of methane, but there was no oxygen. And it came out through what we say is the Big Bang theory. A Big Bang theory is not asked in the examination. They may ask you some of the applied parts of this, कि क्या होता है, the universe is expanding or not, but the directly Big Bang theory does not come in the examination. या origin of the earth लिखो, ये कभी नहीं आएगा, because we don't know whether the Big Bang theory is right or wrong. We don't know whether there is a nebular hypothesis is right or wrong. So actually we don't know how the origin of the earth occurred. But what we know कि the earth can be divided on the basis of carbon dating. You know the carbon dating technology? That is, we see उससे we find the age of the rocks, we find the age of the fossils, that is जो भी amount है carbon in that we see, because the amount of half life period of the carbon को calculate करके we calculate the age of the fossils, and after calculating the age of the fossils, जो fossil जिस rock में है, we can understand what can be the age of the rock. So exact age of the rocks बता नहीं सकते. That is why when we will study Himalayas, we will say XYZ to XYZ million years ago. ऐसे नहीं है कि 20 साल पहले, विल से 2000 से 3000 साल पहले. वो एक बड़ा टाइम स्केल है that itself. That is because we cannot exactly pinpoint due to the radioactive dating. Secondly, we cannot exactly pinpoint of what happened before the era in an Paleozoic era, what is known as an Cambrian period. Cambrian period से पहले हमें ज़्यादा पता नहीं है, and therefore we call this as an pre-Cambrian period. But what we can understand is in the pre-Cambrian period there was earth, there was life also, but not in the form of human beings. There was life, and there was formation of some of the mountains, that is the Aravallis. So अगर कल applied question आता है, ये मैंने जो facts दिया ये books में से है. UPSC will ask you an applied question कि does the peninsular plateau of India belongs to the pre-Cambrian era? Yes or no? Yes. Aravallis अगर peninsular plateau का part है, तो obviously the peninsular plateau belongs to the pre-Cambrian era. So this is what about the pre-Cambrian era. Then we come to the next period, that is what is known as an Paleozoic period. Have you gone through that chapter of NCERT जिसमें ये दिया है? Have you gone through that table? And the Paleozoic is divided into Cambrian. It is further divided into numerous things. उसमें से one is the Cambrian. Cambrian के बाद Ordovician. उसके बाद there is Devonian. उसके बाद there is Carboniferous. And after that we have Permian. So what we are studying? We are studying कि one was the pre-Cambrian. Pre-Cambrian के बाद there was Paleozoic. What is this? Era, Eon period. क्या है? या epoch. क्या है ये? Pre-Cambrian era. उसके बाद there is Paleozoic era, and the Paleozoic era is divided into what? Cambrian, Ordovician, Devonian, Carboniferous, Permian. क्या? Periods or what? These are periods. And thus you should know that youngest to oldest कैसा है? this is oldest and this is the youngest. Cambrian is the oldest in this, and then there is an the youngest is the Permian. उसके बाद आएगा Cenozoic, Mesozoic. Mesozoic में फिर से 3, Cretaceous, Jurassic, Triassic. उसके बाद then we'll come to the Cenozoic. Cenozoic में फिर से 2, that is the Quaternary and Tertiary. Don't write anything. And UPSC के questions, past year के questions अगर हमने देखे तो they will ask you 2 things. एक तो arrange them on the basis of age, youngest to oldest, और they will ask you to arrange them on the basis of the on क्या हुआ था उसमें. जैसे commonly asked question है Aravallis कब form हुए थे, और they can ask you a question how they are divided. सबसे पहले eon is then further divided into epo is further divided into periods is further divided into the eon के बाद periods, era के बाद periods, and periods are further divided into epo. So you should know the geological time scale also in the chronological order. There is a misconception among students कि UPSC does not ask a factual data. ऐसा नहीं है. इस साल के क्वेश्चंस कितने फैक्चुअल थे, हिस्ट्री के सारे क्वेश्चंस फैक्चुअल थे. सिर्फ यूपीएससी डेट नहीं पूछता डायरेक्टली, बट ये भी तो फैक्चुअल है. 4 थिंग्स दिए. What was this what was the question this year? That is nationalization of Air India. दूसरा दिया था XYZ book was published. तीसरा दिया था nationalization of RBI. Which of the one was done first? उसके लिए तो आपको dates याद होनी चाहिए. Then only you can answer. So dates याद करो, and mains में till the time you don't write facts, marks नहीं मिलेंगे. Green Revolution you will have to mention कि what are the effect, क्या GDP में कितना growth हुआ. Then in this, when we'll do this part, that is the plate tectonic theory etc., mention करना पड़ेगा किस period में शुरू हुआ, in which era it ended. When you do even in geography ka some parts irrigation potential, you will have to remember the factual data and you will have to update them from the economic survey, and then only marks will come in the main examination. Because always good speaking should be substantiated with proper facts, then only the communication becomes effective, otherwise it will not become effective. बहुत सारा factual data की ज़रूरत नहीं है कि ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन में कितने लोग मर गए, वो सब नहीं पूछेंगे, बट यू शुड नो द नेम्स ऑफ द ट्रॉपिकल साइक्लोन्स, कहाँ पे कितना आता है. सो आई गेस इन टुडेस करंट अफेयर्स यू डिस्कस्ड वन रोड एक्सीडेंट्स वाला पार्ट. Not it. Then when you will discuss, you should know some of the facts. कि in India how many deaths occur due to road accidents, and you can quote उसके आसपास का figure. 1.5 लाख लोग अगर रोज मर रहे हैं due to road accidents, अगर every year they are dying due to road accidents in India, so obviously you should be able to quote the facts. 3,000 लोग अगर daily मर रहे हैं in India due to air pollution, premature deaths, then you should quote the facts. So coming to the Cambrian era, you can note down, in the Cambrian era, there was no presence of life on the continents. There was no presence of life on the continents. But this was the era of marine invertebrates. This was the era of marine invertebrates, or this was the period of marine invertebrates. Ordovician, just remember first fish. They will not ask you Ordovician. That is the first fishes came in the Ordovician. I guess you know the difference between invertebrates and vertebrates. So fish is an vertebrate or invertebrate. Fish is an vertebrate or invertebrate. क्या है? Vertebrate. They have an vertebral column. So as a result, this was the era of an first fish, Ordovician. Now this is what is important from our exam point of view. Devonian is known as an age of fishes. Devonian is known as an age of fishes. Devonian is known as an age of fishes. Why age of fishes? Because maximum number of fishes came in the Devonian period. In Indian mythology, this period belongs to the Matsya avatar of Vishnu. And if you see the stories of Matsya avatar and the stories of this geological time scale, they are more or less same. So this was the age of the fishes. मतलब हम अभी पढ़ रहे हैं human in the geography that human beings did not originate. This is our limited knowledge. Maybe some human beings were there, and there have been some discoveries also. पर the फर्क इतना है कि अभी तो वो mainstream में accepted नहीं है. The discoveries are still going on, but सिर्फ इतना difference है कि अपने सर उतना बड़ा वो दांत है human being का. Means they were very huge people who are living in this region. But अभी तक dating से we have not yet proved. And then when we come to a very important period, that is what is known as an Carboniferous period. Can you tell me why this is the Carboniferous period important? What do you mean by carbon? Carbon is found in what? In fossil fuels. So this Carboniferous period is the age of coal. So take down in the Carboniferous period. In the Carboniferous period, large amount of vegetation went below waters or floods, fresh water, went below water. The living sediments were trapped. To give rise to coal. Most of the coal in the world belongs to Carboniferous period. Full stop. But Indian coal is of relatively younger age. Belonging to the Gondwana period. Relatively younger age belonging to the Gondwana period. Full stop. Now what this statement means, कि world over जो भी coal है that belongs to the Carboniferous period. But हमारे यहाँ पे जो coal है it belongs to the Gondwana period. पुराना है या it is new as compared to the Carboniferous coal? It is newer as compared to the Carboniferous coal. Now let us see the types of the coals. When we see coal is known as anthracite. It is known as bituminous. It is known as lignite. And it is known as peat. These are the 4 varieties of coal which are found in the world. Now, which is the best quality of the coal? Anthracite is the best quality of the coal. And bilkul jo kaam ka nahi, that is peat. This is because anthracite is oldest and the peat is youngest. So when we see the coal, oldest to youngest, this is how the coal is. Anthracite is the oldest while the peat is the youngest kind of an coal that is found. अब इंडिया का कोल इज एंथ्रासाइट और दूसरा वेराइटी है. आई एम जस्ट, इंडिया का कोल इज मोस्टली बिटुमिनस. इट इज नॉट एज एंथ्रासाइट. व्हाई इट इज नॉट एंथ्रासाइट? बिकॉज इट इज नॉट एज ओल्ड एज द अदर कोल. गोंडवाना कोल इज रिलेटिवली यंगर. कार्बोनिफरस में ही बना, बट इन द लेटर पार्ट ऑफ एन कार्बोनिफरस पीरियड. नाउ अंडरस्टैंड, कोल में देर आर टू थिंग्स. एक तो जो भी वेजिटेशन है दैट इज सबमर्ज बिलो द सी वाटर, बिलो द रिवर वाटर, एंड बिकॉज दैट वेजिटेशन इज सबमर्ज, जो हमारे अंदर जो कार्बन है इट इज ट्रैप्ड एंड इट गेट्स कन्वर्टेड ड्यू टू डिकम्पोजिशन इनटू कोल. एग्जांपल, अगर आपने घर में 3-4 दिन कचरा रखा तो काला बन जाता है. व्हाट इज दैट? दैट इज डिकम्पोजिशन दैट इज हैपनिंग. And if you bury this, maybe बहुत आगे जाके we will find it as a coal deposits, but उसके लिए there has to be enough pressure जो हमारे घर में नहीं होता. And but once the coal is formed, coal has two things. It has to give heat in the form of energy, energy in the form of heat, and दूसरा coal में थोड़ा बहुत moisture होगा. अब understand that if the coal is very young, उसमें there is more moisture and less carbon because it has not yet been decomposed. But if the coal is very very old, it has more carbon and therefore more heat and less moisture. अगर moisture ज़्यादा है तो धुआं ज़्यादा निकलेगा, there will be more smoke and less heat. If the anthracite is there, there will be more heat and very very less smoke. Therefore, anthracite is considered as an best quality coal because anthracite has 60 to 80% of an 80 to 90% of an carbon. Bituminous has around 60 to 80% of an carbon. This has around 40% to 60% of an carbon. Again, peat has the 40 to 50% of an carbon. So, anthracite is considered the best. We will do this in the rocks again in detail. ये कितना कार्बन कंटेंट है वो सब लिखने की जरूरत नहीं अभी, बट वी शुड रिमेंबर दैट इन द रॉक्स. बट वन थिंग व्हाट यू शुड रिमेंबर इज बिकॉज इंडिया लैक्स एंथ्रासाइट, सो उससे व्हाट इज द इम्प्लीकेशन? We are one of the, is now before we go further, is India a producer of coal, major producer of coal? Yes, India is the second largest producer of coal in the world. Does India exports the coal? Yes, India is an exporter of a coal. इतना ज़्यादा coal deposits है. Does India, is India importer of a coal? Exporter अगर होगा तो importer होगा? If you are exporting something, if you are having more, will you import it? Yes, India imports the coal also. Why? Because India exports bituminous and India is importing anthracite. India lacks anthracite. And क्यों हमें anthracite की ज़रूरत है? हीट बनेगी, गर्म होगा. देखो, अंडरस्टैंड अ सिंपल थिंग, कपड़े को इस्त्री करना है, पीट. आयरन एंड स्टील नहीं बनेगा पीट से. लिग्नाइट थोड़ा बहुत आयरन एंड स्टील बन सकता है, बट इफ यू वांट टू मेक स्टेनलेस स्टील यू रिक्वायर एंथ्रासाइट, because if you make stainless steel with the help of bituminous, lignite or peat, it has more sulfur and sulfur will give holes to the stainless steel. So therefore we call anthracite as a coking coal and the other as a non-coking variety of an coal. Ab applied questions. One question if you go in the 2015 examination is, in India the coal power plants do not produce sulfur and thus they are non-polluting. True or false? Sulfur produce करता है कि नहीं? Now we have just seen कि Indian coal is rich in sulfur, so obviously sulfur produce करेगा, and sulfur is harmful. Sulfur is a pollutant. Sulfur से there is more of an rainfall which is known as an acid rainfall. 2014 का question, India is a exporter of a coal. One option was that because India wants to conserve its coal reserves. Second option was something that is that India does not have enough coal reserves. Which of the following statements are true? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. Neither one nor two. India is importing coal because we do not have anthracite. So take down some of the things. Anthracite is known as coking coal. Anthracite is known as coking coal. anthracite is known as an coking coal. It has less sulfur impurity. It has less sulfur impurity. Less sulfur impurity, and hence is used for making stainless steel. And hence it is used for making stainless steel. Next point, 98% of coal in India, 98% of coal in India is of bituminous variety, known as Gondwana coal, known as Gondwana coal, known as Gondwana coal, full stop. Gondwana is rich in sulfur. Gondwana coal is rich in sulfur. Gondwana coal is rich in sulfur, and hence Gondwana coal is rich in sulfur, and hence it cannot be used for steel industry. It cannot be used for steel industry. It cannot be used for steel industry. And you should know that steel industry is the backbone of any industrial development. जिस country में there is steel industry proper, उस country में unemployment का problems नहीं है इतना. And that is the problem you will do in economics कि we have bypassed. हमारा development हुआ, we developed agriculture, second 5-year plan. उसके बाद the natural progression should be we should have developed manufacturing sector. And then we should have developed the service sector. Why? Agriculture sector, people will get jobs, people will have money, excess of money, they will send their children for education to the surrounding urban areas, or they will settle in the surrounding urban areas. When they settle in the surrounding urban areas, there is increase in the income, they have some kind of they will get jobs in the industrial sector. With the coming up of jobs in the industrial sector, they can spend more and more amount of money on health and education, and then the third generation etc. जो है, it can be employed in the service sector industry. Now you are at a very basic level, so you will not be able to relate this. But एक YouTube, it is not on the YouTube, but you know that we are having a class. After your class, there is a GS mains का crash course. जो mains लिख रहे हैं उन्हीं को allowed है उस class में बैठना. Now when you go to that level, you will try to relate कि आज जो farmer discontent है इंडिया में जो इतना बड़ा है, उसका एक reason है ये. Why? People in the rural regions, except the first generation या second generation जो रहते हैं rural regions में, there was increase in the income after Green Revolution. दो impact थे Green Revolution के. Rich became very rich. I'm just telling you how this has progressed. Rich farmers became rich, poorer farmers remained poor. Green Revolution resulted into दो areas. एक तो northwestern part of India, Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा it was successful. बाकी rest of the India was not successful. As a result, there were two kinds of the farmers. Green Revolution का benefit भी है, losses भी है. उसका सबसे बड़ा impact हुआ in 1980s. There were some student leaders, or there were some students who were disenchanted with the government, frustrated with the government. They started going against this Green Revolution. And Green Revolution का उस समय फायदा किसने लिया? That was the era when there was a caste system was very prevalent in India. आज भी तो है caste system. So imagine what will be the caste system in that time. So only the upper caste का rich farmers could benefit from the Green Revolution. And when the upper caste का rich farmers in specific regions could benefit from the Green Revolution, उसमें people, peasants, other farmers started rebelling. And when they started rebelling, this gave rise to some of the leaders. आज उन leaders को हम कहते हैं बहुजन समाज. And that can be Mulayam Singh Yadav, that can be Lalu Prasad Yadav, that can be Mayawati. The people belonging to the other caste. That was the first phase of farmers rebellion which went in India. The second phase of farmers rebellion पिछले 3 साल से शुरू हुआ है, जो अभी आपको दिख रहा है. एमएसपी को कैंसिल करो, लोन वेवर दो, एंड इसमें कोई स्टूडेंट, इसमें कोई पॉलिटिकल ग्रुपिंग नहीं है. जो मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया दिखा रहा है कि ये अपोजिशन पार्टीज ने स्पॉन्सर किया है, देखो इतना बड़ा रिवोल्यूशन अपोजिशन पार्टीज स्पॉन्सर नहीं कर सकती. जितना भी मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया ने दबाया है इस इशू को, दे कैन नॉट एस्केप, बिकॉज अपोजिशन पार्टी कैन स्पॉन्सर इन वन पार्ट ऑफ द स्टेट. How can an opposition party sponsor in Tamil Nadu? How can they sponsor in Madhya Pradesh? How can they sponsor in Rajasthan? How can they sponsor in Punjab? How can they sponsor in Maharashtra? This is the failure of jobs. What has happened in recent times? Urbanization increased. After liberalization, privatization, globalization, urbanization increased. When the urbanization increased, people started coming and settling in the urban areas. First generation farmers और सेकेंड जनरेशन फार्मर्स जो तब आए, when they came into the city का सबसे बड़ा नुकसान है, it gave rise to consumerism and individualism. With the coming up of individualism and consumerism, हम इंडियंस को, हम चाहे कितना भी वेस्टर्न को कॉपी करें, we are still linked to our villages. And as a result, हमारा जो जनरेशन है, it is on the phase of disillusionment, confusion में है, गांव या शहर, गांव या शहर. लिसन टू एनी फॉक सॉन्ग्स विच आर मेड, उसमें एक फॉक सॉन्ग होता है, वेदर इट इज मराठी, वेदर इट इज हरियाणवी, वेदर इट इज हिंदी, देसी लड़का वर्सेस इंग्लिश मैम. नाउ दिस इज व्हाट दिस शोज, हाउ व्हाट इज द रियलिटी दैट इज हैपनिंग. अब आफ्टर 1997 what has increased is there has been more privatization of education and healthcare system. ये थोड़ी हमारी गलती हो गई. I am not saying कि present government या past government की, ये पूरा policy की गलती हो गई. There has been privatization of jobs, of health and education. We try to copy from Singapore, we try to copy from Europe, we try to copy from USA, but हमने गलती से USA से copy किया this, because even if you see Europe, even if you see Singapore, वहाँ पे प्राइमरी एजुकेशन, दैट इज एजुकेशन एंड हेल्थ, आज भी गवर्नमेंट के हाथ में है. दे डू नॉट वांट टू प्राइवेटाइज दिस सेक्टर, बिकॉज यू शुड नो प्राइवेटाइजेशन का एक मोटिव होता है प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन. जाके बीएलके में सर्दी खांसी हो गई है ऐसे बोलो, एंड यू विल कम आउट विद 1000 रुपीज का बिल. अगर डॉक्टर को टारगेट है और उसने टारगेट मीट नहीं किया है आज, तो बोलेगा अरे सर्दी खांसी में भी यहाँ से कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, गो एंड डू सिटी स्कैन or do MRI. So that is a target, and as a result of this, what has increased? The spending of the people has increased. Obviously people which was there, they have all aspirations that their children should educate. Education में privatization हुआ, jobs नहीं है, so the coaching industry started getting prominent role from the year 2005 onwards. Coaching industry, and coaching industry started taking large amount of money. Private hai, profit maximization is the motive. Okay, you can see profit maximization is the motive. Current affairs clubbed, so not that way. But when the coaching industry started, this has happened in the recent years. If you want, I can share you that article, but ye abhi sar ke upar se jayega aapka. I will share when we will develop the substantial amount of base, because ye agriculture distress is my topic only in this geography. Now with the coaching industry increasing, people came out, there has been fall in the public employment, and you can see how there has been fall in the public employment from 2010. Seats har saal reduce hote ja rahi hai. There has been fall, not just UPSC ka, each and every banking, PO, SSC, everything, the seats have reduced over the period of time. Private sector do not have jobs. There has been no new investment in the agriculture sector, and as a result of this, what is happening in today in the last 5-6 years is farmer has to sell his land to meet his education of children in the cities. Farmer has to sell his land to meet the expenses, or farmer is not getting enough money from the land, and therefore he has to take लोन फार्मिंग के लिए नहीं यूज हो रहा है, लोन हो रहा है यूज फॉर एजुकेशन, लोन हो रहा है यूज फॉर द हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर. एंड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस देयर इज फ्रस्ट्रेशन इवन इन द विलेजेस, एंड देयर इज फ्रस्ट्रेशन इवन इन द cities, and this is what is the दिस इज फार्मर्स एजिटेशन. अब इसको दूसरा रूप आया है दैट इन मेनी पार्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया जो ये फार्मिंग कम्युनिटी है दे आर डिमांडिंग रिजर्वेशन. रिजर्वेशन 70, अभी बहुत मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया का डिबेट ये चल रहा था कि 70 साल तक चुप थे XYZ पार्टी के टाइम, अभी क्यों इनको खोली है. यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड 70 साल तक हमारी पॉलिसीज रॉन्ग थी. सो इट इज नॉट द फेलियर ऑफ BJP only or the failure of Congress only. It is the failure of entire policy. The failure of is that we could not have the manufacturing sector. ये चाइना में नहीं है. China has gone in a proper progression. We jumped from agriculture sector directly to the service sector. And in service sector, remember, education qualification does not matter. The one who is urban educated, English speaking, he will be employed in the service sector. सर्विस सेक्टर में योर टेक्निकल नॉलेज डज नॉट मैटर. यू शुड बी अर्बन एजुकेटेड, थोड़ा कम्युनिकेशन स्किल अच्छा होना चाहिए एंड यू विल गेट अ जॉब इन सर्विस सेक्टर. बाकी कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता सर्विस सेक्टर इंडस्ट्री का. एंड दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम दैट इज हैपनिंग. द ओनली थिंग वी शुड हैव गॉन हियर. व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग दिस? वी आई एम टेलिंग दिस विद द बैकग्राउंड ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर इंडस्ट्री. और ये क्यों किया ये हम बाद में देखेंगे. ऐसा नहीं कि गवर्नमेंट को पता नहीं था, बट वी हैड नो चॉइस. So don't compare आज का इंडिया with 60s का इंडिया. 60s के इंडिया में हमारे पास खाने के लिए अनाज नहीं था. We did not have food grains till the time we had green revolution. Today this same country USA, which is our friend, 15 साल पहले it was our staunch enemy. It did not support us in any of an international forums. So with this background, you just remember the distribution of Gondwana coal in India. And see, this is how we should be drawing the diagram of India even in the examination. Just look here, how I am drawing. Is you start from Gujarat, go up, take a V here. अगर आप ये ऐसे बना सकते हो तो very fine, or you can make straight V, and then here. And from here make Himalayas. जब भी आप Himalayas बनाते हो तो there has to be one U-shaped bend. There has to be the next U-shaped bend in the Himalayas. You don't have to take this line, but you should extend the Himalayas up to the edge of India. So this is the diagram we should be making even in the examination. So the distribution of Gondwana coal first. Is the Chota Nagpur plateau. And कहाँ पे in the Chota Nagpur plateau? In the valleys of Godavari and its tributaries, Mahanadi, Subarnarekha, and Damodar. And these are the states of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, some extent of Maharashtra, some parts of Madhya Pradesh, some parts of Orissa and West Bengal. ये है, this is the distribution of Gondwana coal in India. अगर गोदावरी की ट्रिब्यूटरीज कौन सी है यहाँ पे? इफ यू वांट टू रिमेंबर, जस्ट रिमेंबर इट इज वर्धा, बिकॉज वी हैव अ फेमस कोल फील्ड इन द रिवर वर्धा. After that we have Penganga and Wainganga. These three rivers of India are combinedly known as Pranhita. It is known as Pranhita. Very easy to remember. Bahubali Part 2 देखा है? So there is a fight in which they leave the bullocks after putting them on fire on the banks of river. Now if you, whenever you watch movie again, she is shown the queen of Pranhita region, the princess of Pranhita. So Pranhita river, डायरेक्टर को पता है वहाँ पे कोल मिलता है, तो इसलिए तो जला पाए फायर. Now this is how you can remember. Pranhita river region is famous for coal. Can I rub this part? So our coal is basically bituminous. Lignite in India कहाँ मिलता है? In Tamil Nadu. We will do that later on. This is just. And do we find anthracite in India? Yes, we find anthracite in India in a small region of Jammu and Kashmir, which is known as Kalakot. So Carboniferous period is the period of coal. Indian coal does not belong to the Carboniferous period. So abhi sirf yaad rakhna, I am not dictating. Therefore India is one of the largest producer as well as importer and exporter of a coal. India is the second largest producer. India is the second largest importer of coal. Kyun? Anthracite. And Q, isse pehle if you read the NCRTs or if you read the old books which have not been updated, they say India is the third largest producer of coal. But recently, पिछले 2 साल में India has become the second largest. So they say that India is the third largest importer of coal. But in recent times, India has become the second largest importer of coal. In पिछले 2-3 साल में. Can you tell me why? आसपास से logic लगाओ. Make in India campaign. She is perfectly right. Make in India campaign. We are now, because that is what the present Prime Minister is saying. He knows कि manufacturing sector will have jobs. So make in India campaign. वो कितना successful है, कितना unsuccessful है, it is very short time to decide. But you remember, make in India campaign, and we are now focusing on the manufacturing sector. Then the next period is Permian period. Next period is the Permian period. No importance at all. From our exam point of view, it is not that important. Then what is the era after that, Paleozoic? It is the Mesozoic era. And this Mesozoic era is further divided into 3 periods. It is known as Triassic, उसके बाद it is Jurassic, and उसके बाद it is Cretaceous. Obviously, which is young in this? Cretaceous. And which is old in this? Is the Triassic. Triassic we are not going to write anything. Jurassic we are going to write. Jurassic we are going to write here. And this Jurassic period is what is known as an, can you tell me why is Jurassic period famous? It is known as an age of dinosaurs. Jurassic period was famous for the dinosaurs, age of the dinosaurs. There were large bodied animals all over the world which are known as dinosaurs in this period. When did dinosaurs get extinct? वैसे the dinosaurs came in Triassic period. But age of dinosaurs मतलब सबसे ज़्यादा dinosaurs कब मिले थे? For example, we have written that Devonian is the age of fish. But first fish came in which period? Earlier than that. So we do not say that earlier period is an Silurian period or Ordovician period is not the age of the fish. Age of fish means when the fishes were dominant. And the Cretaceous period is famous for extinction of dinosaurs. It is known for the extinction of dinosaurs. Can you tell me why? In the terms of which catastrophic activity? Volcanic eruption. So this was the age. Now why did the dinosaurs get extinct? So are you understanding what we are doing? Is जो काम का नहीं है उसको extend करने की जरूरत नहीं है. But this is important. This was due to the large-scale volcanic activities. Why volcanic activities? Numerous theories. We still do not know why exactly there has been volcanic activities. But one theory says that the earth was cooling and therefore it gave out excess heat which was there in the form of volcanoes. And the second theory says that this is due to, so हमारे answer में will be writing the both the things, because one, due to the cooling of the earth, and volcanoes, and the second is due to meteors impact. Meteors impact means the extraterrestrial objects which are known as meteors, which is going in the space, they came and fell on the surface of the earth, giving rise to meteors impact, or you can write due to the collision or meteor collision on earth. What happened due to the meteor impact? If this is the earth and niche there is magma which is present here, some of the very big meteors came on the surface of the earth, and as a result of this they found a depression. Because of depression क्या हुआ? नीचे का magma came out, and as a result of this there was an volcanic activity which resulted into the extinction of dinosaurs. See, these are very long periods. उसके बाद जो dinosaurs बचे थे, they got extinct, entirely got extinct because of two reasons. एक तो meteor impact and दूसरा when this large scale volcanic activity occurred, after that the life started becoming smaller. When the life started becoming smaller, ये dinosaurs के अंडे चुराने लग गए, and as a result of this the new birth could not take place, and hence the dinosaurs got extinct from the world. Can someone tell me आज क्यों meteors do not come and hit the surface of the earth? Today meteors come and impact the earth. Do they come and hit the surface of the earth? Do the meteors come and come inside the earth's atmosphere? Yes. आज भी meteors आते हैं on daily basis. They come inside, but thankfully they do not reach the surface of the earth. As soon as they enter the earth's atmosphere, वो जल जाते हैं, and you call them as a wishing star या टूटता तारा. That is nothing but the meteors. Meteors, they come, and why over the period of time? क्योंकि आज का जो अर्थ है उसका एटमॉस्फेयर इज मोर डेंसर एज कंपेयर टू द अर्लियर अर्थ. इस समय एटमॉस्फेयर वेल फॉर्म नहीं था, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस द meteors could easily come and hit the surface of the earth. Thankfully today they do not come and hit the surface of the earth, but there can be a chance of catastrophe any time. If a big meteor comes, it can come and fall on the surface of the earth. Secondly, but आज क्या होता है हमें, because of this and how we use this for our daily life, Kalpana Chawla incident. Meteors come with such a great speed today कि once they enter the inner atmosphere, due to friction वो जल जाते हैं. The same thing applies to Kalpana Chawla incident. The NASA could not control उसका speed, and therefore it entered the inner atmosphere with a great speed, and thus it went into flames. Yeah, second example is Tiangong spacecraft of China. This year's का April का news. As soon as it entered the earth का atmosphere, it went into flames. पहले डर था कि ये मुंबई के ऊपर गिरेगा. Over the period of time, next ऐसा था कि it will fall on Arabian Sea, but ultimately it fell in Pacific Ocean, somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. और कुछ हुआ नहीं, और उसके बहुत छोटे-छोटे टुकड़े गिर गए. So this is what happens in this. And now इसका application understand. So the third point in the Cretaceous period. During the Cretaceous period, due to the large scale volcanic activities, there was formation of volcanic plateaus over the earth. These plateaus were made up of basalt. And इसका example is the Deccan lava plateau. इसका example is Deccan lava plateau. Siberian plateau. Columbia snake plateau. Siberian plateau we already know कहाँ पे है, Russia, and Columbia snake plateau is in USA. It has resulted in the formation of numerous plateaus. So Deccan lava plateau. आज कौन से स्टेट में है Deccan lava plateau? The state of Maharashtra. Mostly the state of Maharashtra, but it also covers some state of Madhya Pradesh, where it is known as Malwa plateau. It also covers some state of Gujarat, जहाँ पे उसका नाम है Saurashtra या Kathiawad. It also covers some state of the Karnataka, that is the northern Karnataka. It also covers some state of some part of Tamil Nadu. Original Deccan lava plateau was right up to Haryana, but it has reduced in size, and today we have this only mostly in the Maharashtra region. किसके लिए famous है? The Deccan lava plateau is famous for what? Black soil, and this black soil is the cotton producing region of India. Second point here is, see, if this is a region, imaginary region, नीचे magma है, we can understand there is a magma here, but उसके नीचे below the ground there is a water level. Fine with this? Always below the ground there is a water level. Whether you even go to Rajasthan, ऐसा तो नहीं है कि ground में there is no water. Even in the driest deserts, ground में there is a water which is present. So below the ground there is a water level. When a meteor will come and it will remove this surface, so can I say अगर ये इतना ही part is removed, so can I say ये water will be exposed? And can you call this over the period of time as lake? This is a lake. So second thing for prelims you remember, what are meteor lakes? The lakes that is formed due to the impact of meteors. Why? Because it comes with the greater speed, removes the depression, and नीचे का groundwater is exposed, resulting into the formation of meteor lakes. So meteor lakes are formed due to the impact of meteors, and इसका example is which lake? Lonar. And in the state of Maharashtra. इंडिया में एक ही लेक है which is an example of an lake that is formed due to the impact of meteors. So you understand why Deccan lava plateau is mostly in Maharashtra? Because meteor impact सबसे ज़्यादा इंडिया में कहाँ हुआ? On Maharashtra. और तब इंडिया कहाँ पे था? India was near Africa. India was somewhere in the southern hemisphere. You will understand that today. That is, India was somewhere in the southern hemisphere here. आज इंडिया कहाँ पे है? In the northern hemisphere. That means, can I say India is moving, sliding forwards? So today, are we sliding forward? Delhi is going below Himalayas or not? Yes. हम हर साल 5 सेंटीमीटर से we go to the north. मतलब you should remember हम एक boat पे बैठे हैं, and that boat is going to the north, and that name of the boat is India. And over the period of time, it is sliding to the north. The only thing is we do not realize it. Then the next era is which era? Cenozoic era. Cenozoic era is further divided into tertiary and quaternary. And you already know tertiary period में क्या हुआ? There was an formation of young fold mountains. Known as Himalayas. Example is Himalayas. कौन सी orogeny? जिससे Alps बने, and therefore we will call this as an example of an alpine orogeny. Resulted into the formation of Himalayas belonging to the अल्पाइन ओरोजिन। सी एनसीईआरटी में और भी दिया है प्लियोसीन, इयोसीन, ओलिगोसीन, मियोसीन, दैट इज दे आर फर्दर डिवाइडेड इनटू एपो। कोई जरूरत नहीं जीएस के लिए ये सब याद रखने की। एंड द क्वाटरनरी पीरियड इज फॉर द, इट वाज द व्हेन it was the age of evolution of the modern man, that is कौन सा, होमो होमो sapiens sapien। we evolved in the quaternary period, that is just some 2000 3000 years before the present। And now there is a demand for including a new era, that is what is known as an Anthropocene or the Anthropocene period। Anthropocene। So you take down about the Anthropocene। It is the last 2000 years, it is the last 2000 years when modern human beings have dominated, modern human beings have dominated and hence have caused modification of the atmosphere, by deforestation, modification of atmosphere or climate, by deforestation, agriculture activities, changing the land use, changing the land use, burning of fossil fuels, and modification of microclimate, What do you understand by microclimate? Climates of surroundings. For example, climate of India, इंडिया की एक सिटी दिल्ली, तो सिटी दिल्ली, तो दिल्ली का क्लाइमेट अगर हम स्टडी कर रहे हैं, वी विल कॉल दिस एज माइक्रो क्लाइमेट। अगर दिल्ली में भी इफ यू वांट टू स्टडी द क्लाइमेट ऑफ उसका सब पार्ट, देन आल्सो इट इज नोन एज एन माइक्रो क्लाइमेट। एंड हाउ वी आर मॉडिफाइड? वी आर मॉडिफाइड बाय deforestation, we are modified by agriculture activities. Agriculture activities is responsible for large scale deforestation in last some 1500 years. उसके बाद came coal, industrial revolution, again modified it, and उसका what is the result? उसका result is pollution, global warming, then falling of agriculture produce, premature deaths, diseases. Example, a person who stays in Delhi for his life should reduce 5 years from the average Indian ka life. If the average Indian ka life is 670, Delhi mein life is only 65. Why? Because of large scale pollution. It is said that if you are stayed in Delhi, your lungs are equal to the person who has been smoking, who is a chain smoker का lungs. इतना ज़्यादा pollution है in Delhi. That is an microclimate. Second example of an क्यों है pollution? Due to human activities. And what is इसका impact? इसका impact is decrease in the output, whether it is human resources, whether it is economic resources, whether it is the diseases. ये सब क्या है? Global burden of diseases has increased, and India and China are the biggest sufferers. And because India and China is the biggest sufferer, क्या हो रहा है? GDP of India and China is falling. जितना grow होना चाहिए उतना नहीं grow हो रहा है. Why? Respiratory disease. For example, you are a students here, and because of pollution you miss 5 or 6 days of class. कोई आपको ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. But if you are employed somewhere, especially in the private sector, or it continues because of pollution or because of some activities you are missing, क्या करेगी? Private company आपको थोड़ी रखेगी. It will say घर ही बैठो आप. They will employ someone else. So this is what is the we are facing. We'll come to this topic, but आपने देखा ही है, after how many of you were present in Delhi in the month of December, Jan, Feb? तो इसमें से कोई ऐसे थे कि जो बहुत ज़्यादा who are from outside Delhi, but बहुत ज़्यादा pollution है तो आप घर चले गए 3-4 दिन के लिए. So this category of the people is environmental refugee. So जो go from one place to another because they want to, an environment is forcing you. Refugee मतलब क्या? You are going away from one place. Over the period आजकल हम क्या देख रहे हैं? Environmental refugees are coming up. Because of pollution, people are forced to leave a place. Because of pollution, agriculture is failing. Because of pollution, schools are shut down. Because of pollution, there is large scale the diseases. And also, because of pollution, future में air will be the most sellable item. आजकल क्या है? Because of pollution, water is the best sellable item. Profit बनाना है, have a packaged drinking water की company, Bisleri or anything. आगे जाके India and China में air will be the most sellable item. अभी भी market अभी बन रहा है, air purifiers, mask, and in future क्या होगा? Just like China, जो China में इतना ज़्यादा pollution है कि they have oxygen bars. एक first oxygen bar has already come in India. What is oxygen bar? इतना ज़्यादा pollution है that you feel tired, you feel somewhat, go to a place, pay them some amount of money, take excess oxygen and go for work. So that is an amount of an oxygen bar, and we are not very far away from this region if we do not reduce this. इसीलिए तो government is focusing on electric cars. इसलिए there is so much ban on the diesel vehicles. इसलिए जो BS6 norms which should be coming after 2 years, दिल्ली में इसी साल से implemented है. That is the BS6 norms, that is emission norms. So this era which has been modified by the human beings is what is known as an Anthropocene. मतलब in simple words क्या है? नेचर ने तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड निकाल दिया. What we are doing? अब हम increase कर रहे हैं कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड by burning of the fossil fuels. So that is the geological time scale. Fine with this? I guess Anthropocene was asked in this year's exam. Anthropocene was asked in this year's exam. It was expected last year, but it was asked in this year's exam because officially geological time scale में Anthropocene has not been added. There is a demand. इसीलिए Anthropocene पे separate question आएगा. ऐसे नहीं आएगा what is arrange this era. What is an Anthropocene? It can come even in the main examination also. EPO, for example, जो quaternary period है, it is divided into further 2 periods, and these periods are known as EPO. हमने quaternary तक रुका है. So what we have seen? We have seen Cenozoic, Cenozoic being divided into two, that is tertiary and quaternary. This quaternary, if it is further divided into some sub-periods, yeah, tertiary, if it's further divided into some sub-periods, it is known as epoch. Not required except for one thing, that this quaternary period is further divided into two sub-periods. एक है younger ऊपर है Holocene, and दूसरा is Pleistocene. तो हम इसको कहेंगे epoch. Yes, that Meghalayan epoch is जहाँ पे we find it belongs to very old Precambrian era के some rocks are found in Meghalaya, and they are found in different parts of the world. So they are asking abhi to the International Geological Society to rename some of an epoch as Meghalayan epoch, Cambrian के पहले का epoch, that is जब Peninsular Plateau बना, जब Canadian Shield बना, जब ये बना, that is an Meghalayan epoch, Cambrian में include करने के लिए. But again, why I am not doing that? Because officially अब तक आया नहीं. और एक न्यूज़ आर्टिकल आया था मेघालयन epoch पे. मेघालयन epoch मतलब जब मेघालय बना, मेघालय जैसे रॉक्स बने. सो मेघालय जैसे रॉक्स पूरे पेनिनसुलर इंडिया में, जो हमने फर्स्ट लेक्चर में लिखा था, कैनेडियन शील्ड, अफ्रीका एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया. So they are asking to name this as a Meghalayan epoch because the rocks were first studied in Meghalaya and they are found in different parts. We know that as a peninsular plateau region. So Cenozoic is divided into tertiary and quaternary. Quaternary में एक period है what is known as an Pleistocene. And just remember that Pleistocene is famous for ice age. So the latest ice age on the surface of the earth occurred in the Pleistocene period. Now why this happens, we do not know, but we know that earth passes from the warm to cold, warm to cold, warm to cold. So right now we are in the warmer phase. इससे पहले there was an Pleistocene period, and future में we are fast approaching into the colder phase. But this colder phase of the earth is now affected by the global warming. That is, कोई नया जो ice age है जो आना चाहिए था, it may not come because of an global warming. So when we do that, we are not doing the interior of the earth. I want you to just know, because we are starting a theory, that interior of the earth, as per the older view, they said that there is an Sial, Sima and knife. And what was this? They said that the continents are made up of Sial. ये है continent which is made up of an Sial. What do you mean by Sial? Sial means it is dominated by silica and aluminium. So they said that the continents are made up of Sial. They have weaker rocks. They have rocks which are much lighter as compared to the next layer, जो उन्होंने कहा, that is known as an Sima. Why Sima? Because this is made up of silica and magnesium. And after that, they said that Sima के नीचे there is knife or Nife layer, that is which is dominated by nickel and iron. So we say that earth is divided into Sial, Sima and knife. Sials are what? Can I say continents or the continental crust? What is Sima? Sima is an oceanic crust. ये अगर water है, this is an ocean, so it is an oceanic crust. And what is knife? The innermost part of the earth. So Sial, they say, is lighter. हम बाद में देखेंगे इस टॉपिक को डिटेल में. It has lighter, it is made up of lighter rocks. It has lower density of somewhere around 2.7 grams per centimeter cube, or 2.8 grams, you remember as of now, centimeter cube. NCERT में ये गलत दिया है, Be careful about this. Why it is lighter? Because it is made up of lightest components, that is silica and aluminum, and ये बना है from the rocks which are known as granite. Now the geographers say that below the Sial lies Sima, and Sima is made up of denser rocks. Having a greater density of around 3 grams per centimeter cube. And यहाँ पे why the denser is there? Because it is dominated by magnesium, etc. And they say these rocks are basalt. And then innermost part of the earth, this is the most dense due to nickel and iron. It is very, very dense due to the presence of nickel and iron, having a density of greater than 15 grams per centimeter cube. So this is the older view regarding the interior of the earth. They used to say that earth is divided into Sial, Sima and Knife. Sial is lighter. It is made up of why Sial? Because silica and silica and aluminum. Why Sima? Because of a silica and magnesium. And why Knife? Because of nickel and iron. Now before I go further, does Earth has a magnetic property? Earth behaves like a magnet. Why Earth is a magnet? Due to the iron. So the older view was due to the presence of iron, Earth behaves like a magnet, or Earth has magnetic property. जो आजकल रिजेक्टेड है. Okay. This is not true entirely, but हमें पता होना चाहिए this. So based on this diagram, can I conclude that one simple statement that Sial is floating on Sima? Sial is made up of lighter rocks, and this lighter rocks is इसका best example is granite. Actually granite नहीं, granitic rocks. And can I say Sial is nothing but continental crust? And can I say Sima is nothing but oceanic crust? So can I conclude that continents are floating on the oceans? True or false? That is, the continental land masses are floating on the oceans. वैसे literally नहीं, but do you agree that the continental crust is floating on the oceanic crust? Oceanic crust जो है, oceans के नीचे जो अर्थ का crust है, it is more denser as compared to the continents के नीचे जो अर्थ का crust है. Do you agree with me? And वहाँ पे the most important rock कौन सा है? Basalt. यहाँ पे कौन सा most important rock है continents में? Granite और granitic rocks. Granite जैसे दिखने वाला. Have you seen granite? Everyone? No? You come by metro? So today on the metro station, you will see white color का rocks पूरा flooring में, or to the sides, that is granite. Okay, light white color का rock which is having crystals is granite. Basalt, have you seen the photos of Ajanta and Ellora caves? The dark black color का rock is basalt. That is a basalt here, only black in color. With this background, you should just remember, no need of writing any line, because हम ये लिखने वाले हैं. You should just remember that the older people used to think that the continental land masses are floating on the oceanic crust, or in simple words, continental crust is floating on the oceanic crust. This was the older view of Sial, Sima and knife. ये मेंस में नहीं आएगा, ये सिर्फ प्रीलिम्स के लिए है, because the newer view regarding the interior of the earth is totally different. Newer view after we do the continental drift theory. First let us finish the continental drift theory. Newer view says that earth is made up of continental crust and the oceanic crust. Crust के नीचे there is asthenosphere, that is mantle. It is made up of asthenosphere. Asthenosphere के नीचे there is lower mantle. Lower mantle के नीचे there is outer core. Outer core के नीचे there is an inner core. Then we know today that outer core is liquid in nature. We know today कि magma कहाँ से आता है. ये तो बहुत simple है view regarding the interior of the earth, that is Sial, Sima and knife. And why we have no idea, why these people did not have any idea of the interior of the earth? One of the reason is, what is the radius of the earth? 6371. अगर आपको interior of the earth study करना है तो you will have to go dig a hole and go down up to the 6371 kilometer. Possible है? Why? Because volcanoes come only from the depth of 200 kilometers as compared to the entire radius of the earth, that is 6371 kilometers. So volcanoes will give us idea about the earth, but maximum depth 200 kilometer. उसके नीचे and 200 kilometer कुछ भी नहीं है. The thickness of the crust is 30 kilometers. The thickness of the mantle is from 30 to 5000 kilometers. 30 to 2900 kilometers. मतलब आपको from volcano maximum you can learn is the upper mantle, and उसी को हमने कहा है asthenosphere. That we'll do in the next lecture. Now open the map of North America. See, if you look at the map of North America, physical map में देखना, can I say there are numerous lake, Great Bear Lake, Great Slave Lake, उसके नीचे मिले lakes, उसके बाद अथाबास्का लेक, विनीपेग लेक, विनीपेगोसिस और बहुत सारे lakes हैं. उसके बाद we have the 5 Great Lakes of North America. एक है Lake Superior, उसके बाद Lake Huron, उसके बाद Lake Michigan, उसके बाद Lake Erie, and then we have the Lake Ontario. So all these are an examples of the fresh lakes of the world. Great Bear Lake, Great Slave Lake, Winnipeg, Winnipegosis, Athabasca Lake, and then what we will say this as the 5 Great Lakes of North America. 5 Great Lakes में क्या है? Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie and Ontario. ये सब की जरूरत नहीं है अभी. But because you are looking at this, can I conclude by looking at the political map that these 5 Great Lakes are common between Canada and USA? Yes, right? And secondly, can I say this 5 Great Lakes में से एक Great Lake है जो सिर्फ USA में मिला? Michigan. Michigan lies totally in USA. ये एक prelims के लिए याद रखना that the 5 Great Lakes में से Michigan lies totally in USA. And because we are looking at the map, which is the major city on Lake Michigan? Chicago is the major city on Lake Michigan. Chicago is the major city on Lake Michigan. If you go on the lake, उसके बाद this Lake Erie, you will find a major city जो मैंने कल mention की थी, that is Detroit. मिला, DETROIT. व्हाट इज दिस डेट्रॉइट? कल ही मैंने बताया आपको, ऑटोमोबाइल कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. इट इज द ऑटोमोबाइल कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. क्योंकि जनरल मोटर्स, फोर्ड पहले डेट्रॉइट में शुरू हुआ था, देयरफॉर इट इज नोन एज एन ऑटोमोबाइल कैपिटल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, डेट्रॉइट. उसके नीचे आपको एक सिटी मिलेगी नोन एज पिट्सबर्ग. उधर ही मिला पिट्सबर्ग. You'll find it here, this Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. It is iron and steel capital of the world. सिर्फ यूएसए का नहीं, आयरन एंड स्टील कैपिटल. सीधे ये सब पुरानी बातें हैं, क्योंकि अभी सबका कैपिटल है चाइना in reality, but we still use thing. Largest producer of iron ore, China. Largest producer of coal, China. Largest producer of wheat, China. Largest producer of soybean, China. Largest producer of the rice, China. Largest producer of tea, silk, human beings, China. Sara ka it is the China. Human beings mein we are going to defeat China by in the next 20-30 years. Otherwise it is the China only. But still, why we say capital of the world? Because ये industries यहाँ पे शुरू हुआ. And देखो first lecture याद करो. I told you Appalachian is famous for coal, right? And I told you Canadian Shield is famous for iron ore. Canadian Shield मैंने नाम किया था. And you know Shield मतलब oldest landmass, and it is famous for iron ore. So you can see industrial location perfectly there. Between coal producing center Appalachian and ऊपर क्या है Canadian Shield, and बीच में क्या है industries. Because it is not near the market, it is near the raw materials. एक raw material है यहाँ से जो आता है, that is the coal. एक raw material है Lake Superior वाला region जहाँ से आता है iron ore, and therefore iron steel industry. जैसे ही iron steel industry, so Pittsburgh आ जाता है. Pittsburgh के बाद there is Detroit, because iron and steel industry के बाजू में there is an automobile industry. उसके बाद अभी ये ध्यान मत देना, look here, वहाँ यहाँ पे एक है city known as Akron, rubber industry. यहाँ पे एक है city Cleveland, infrastructure industry. यहाँ पे एक city है Chicago, the largest railway and airways terminal in the world, the largest junction in the world, and the largest food processing center of the world. क्या दिख रहा है ये? Location of industries, coal, iron ore, बीच में industries. हमने यही तो बनाया था, market, iron ore and coal. 5 kg ये, so 5 kg ये, इसलिए बीच में industries is located. It is never located the market. And then because industries यहाँ पे develop हुई, तो service sector industry develop हुई New York, capital, financial capital, and उसके बाजू में the political capital, Washington. And this region, what is the name of this region? New England region. Now, but we are coming to a theory that is this, यहाँ पे इतने सारे lakes क्यों है? Now, this was an area which was, this is today even in the higher latitudes. It is in the higher latitudes. Higher latitudes मतलब it is between 60-65 degrees north में. So यहाँ का temperature is cold or warm? It is cold. So during the Pleistocene ice age, this area was under the ice. When this area was under the ice when it started moving, it scratched the surface of the earth. Ice is a huge mass. Glaciers are very huge. They will scratch the surface of the earth. When they scratch the surface of the earth, scratches या depression form हुए on the crust. You take anything which is rough and scratch the skin, the scratches will come. हमारे लिए ये geography के हिसाब से this is scratches only lakes, and in this scratches ice got stuck. After the end of Pleistocene ice age, ice melted और क्या रह गया? Lakes. And therefore these regions have numerous lakes. कोई भी world में जहाँ जहाँ there has been ice age, you will find large number of lakes. Example is the country which is known as the land of 1,000 lakes, that is Finland. फिर से सेम लैटिट्यूड्स में बट इन यूरोप. Example is Canada. You will have numerous lakes. Example is USA. So remember, lakes are the characteristics of the Pleistocene ice age, freshwater lakes. अब कल अगर यूपीएससी में प्रीलिम्स में आता है क्वेश्चन, द ग्रेट लेक्स ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका आर फॉर्म ड्यू टू व्हाट? सो कैन यू से ड्यू टू ग्लेशिएशन और ड्यू टू प्लीस्टोसिन आइस एज? प्लीस्टोसिन आइस एज नहीं फॉर्म हुआ, दैट मीन्स ड्यू टू glaciation. How due to glaciation? Scratching of the surface of the earth. If the glacier is moving, well, so there will be scratching of the surface of the earth, and due to the scratching of the surface of the earth, there will be formation of lakes. अब interesting बात ये है कि ऐसे lakes और ऐसे sediments जो glaciers बनाता है, they are found even in छोटा नागपुर plateau region. They are found even in Jharkhand. They are found even in Chhattisgarh. They are found even in Maharashtra. They are found even in Telangana, Karnataka. That is, they are found in the peninsular plateau region. Next, they are also found in the Brazil region. और कहाँ पे है peninsular plateau और Brazil? Higher latitudes में या equator के पास? They are more nearer to the equator. And if a place is more nearer to the equator, गर्मी ज़्यादा है या glaciation है, that is ठंडी ज़्यादा है? Where is more heat? यहाँ पे these are the heat वाला regions of the world and this are the cold वाला regions of the world. We can understand कि यहाँ पे glaciation का evidences मिले like lakes, but we cannot tell why there is evidences of glaciation in India, which is located here in the hot regions of the world. This is where India is. We cannot say why there is an evidences of glaciation in Brazil, which is located here. We can very well say why there is an evidences of glaciation in North America or in Europe, but we cannot say why in India. Now come to the map of Europe. Map of Europe is before the map of North America. And in the political map of Europe, come to the map of Sweden. Map of Europe. हमेशा there will be continent का map and after that individual countries का. So the country Sweden. In the country Sweden, you will at the top of Sweden, near the poles. Sweden is located near the poles. You will find a city known as Kiruna. मिला Kiruna? Kiruna हमें वैसे भी याद रखना है for prelims because Kiruna में what do we find is surprisingly coal. Kiruna is famous in Sweden for coal deposits. And कहाँ? What is the latitude of Kiruna? Can I say it is above the Arctic Circle? So, is it not surprising? Why it is not surprising? Why it is surprising? Because you do not know the reason. But it is surprising now once when I tell you the reason. Coal is found only जहाँ पे there is heat, and जहाँ पे the trees which are found in the tropics. Tropics मतलब heated regions go below the water. गोदावरी के नीचे, कृष्णा के नीचे. That is why I told you that. गोदावरी के नीचे, पेनगंगा के नीचे, वर्धा के नीचे, छोटा नागपुर प्लाटू में, exactly heated region में. But in the polar regions, what we are finding is the coal. Coal वहाँ पे नहीं होना चाहिए. And what should not be found in India? The evidences of glaciation. So, based on this, we are going to do the first theory, which is known as an you do not have to remember the year. I am writing the year for making you understand some of the things. Wegener's continental drift theory. Alfred Wegener was a German क्या geographer क्या What theories we are doing? Which subject we are studying? Geography. So theories होना चाहिए by geographer, but surprisingly he was not geographer. He was तो making the plant का atlas in the world, and while making plants का atlas in the world, he was surprised to see the formation of coal in the higher latitudes and the presence of evidences of glaciation in lower latitudes, that is India, Brazil, etc. में I guess you know what is latitudes, at least in basic. Latitudes, lines, imaginary lines which we say, equator 23.5 degree north, 23.5 degree south, 90 degree north, 90 degree south. So यहाँ पे there is an heat. This is what we will call it as a lower latitudes. This is the higher latitudes. So Wegener found the evidences of glaciation in the lower latitudes, and he surprisingly found coal in the higher latitudes. So यहाँ पे in the equatorial regions he found glaciation, and in this region he found coal. So he proposed initially two things may have occurred. एक तो climate has changed over the period of time. He said that it is very surprising, the climate may have changed, and उसने जब theory बनाने के लिए शुरू किया, he thought there are two things which could have happened. The one thing is, जो आज equatorial regions है, they were once the polar regions, and once which were the polar regions, today's polar regions were once the equatorial regions. That is, इसका मतलब ये है कि if this is 90 degree and if this is equator, this was once polar region and this was equator. इसका मतलब the earth को किसी ने ऐसे घुमा दिया तो ही ये इक्वेटर बन जाएगा and then ये पोल हो जाएगा. पॉसिबल है? अर्थ को किसी ने ऐसे घुमाया? नॉट, ऐसे घूम नहीं सकती है. So he rejected. Then he said he may be continents which are near the equator, which are today near the equator, were once near the poles, and once which are today near the poles, once which were near the poles have now come to the equator. That is, therefore, कैसे आए? Due to movement, and therefore the name of this theory is an continental drift theory. He talks about the movement of the continents due to drifting and due to rifting. So therefore we will do the continental drift theory, very easy to understand. So with this, that means India जो है, India was near the poles, and therefore we have evidences of glaciation. Over the period of time, India आया near the equator, ऊपर चला गया, और ये अमेरिका यहाँ पे कहीं तो था और ये फिर अब चला गया near the poles. Getting it? That is why I said we are moving to the north. Let us see whether it is true or false. Don't write anything, understand the theory. So Wegener assumed two things in his theory. एक तो Sial is floating on Sima because he had to show the movement, and secondly there are two forces which are responsible for the drifting of the continents. One, he said, is the force of, it is the force that causes tides also. What he will call this as a tidal force, which causes high tides and low tides. What is this tidal force? It is the gravitational force of sun and the moon. Tides are caused due to the gravitational force of the sun and the moon. And second, he said, it is the force of buoyancy, that is the force of flotation. And third, he said, that is the force of gravity, gravitational force which is pulling everyone, which is pulling India towards the equator. Then he assumed some of the things. What was his assumption? He said, before the Carboniferous period, the entire landmass was a single continent, what we called it as an Pangaea. And this Pangaea was surrounded by a super ocean. एक ही ocean था, what he called it as an Panthalassa. Panthalassa. Then he said, after the Carboniferous period, in the Carboniferous period, Pangaea broke into two parts. Which period mein? In the Carboniferous period, Pangaea broke into two parts. And this Pangaea, which broke into two parts, resulted into formation of two land masses. The northern land mass, he called it as an Laurasia land or Angara land. And the southern land mass, he said, is resulted into is what he will call this as an Gondwana land. And as a result of this, can I say जो water which was there in between, ये आ गया, this the original water of Panthalassa ये बीच में आ गया, and this, he said, resulted into the formation of a sea, what he called it as an Tethys Sea. Then he said, due to the forces, these two land masses further broke into numerous parts. That is, Laurasia land mass, he said that further broke into different part, and these parts were Laurasia land ka North America and Asia. And after breaking this North America and Asia, they started moving in different directions. That is, the North America started moving to the west of the Asia. And he said that Gondwana land broke into South America, Africa, India, Peninsular India, Australia and Antarctica. And after that, the India started moving to the north. So this is South America. Don't write anything, just try to understand. Africa, Peninsular India, Antarctica and Australia. Now he said, after breaking this were the parts of the Gondwana land. Up Q Gondwana land is the name. The name he chose Gondwana land because he found coal deposits in the Chota Nagpur plateau. And Chota Nagpur plateau mein the tribes kaun se hai? Gonds is the tribes. That is why he is not a geographer. Why he is not a geographer, you will understand now. He is not a geographer because उसको geography से लेना देना ही नहीं था. वो तो consider कर रहा था coal, उसको कहाँ कहाँ coal मिलता है और कौन से plants मिलते हैं. So Earth starts in the pre-Cambrian era. इसकी theory शुरू होती है in the Carboniferous period. उसको पूछा Carboniferous period से पहले क्या? He has no answer. Why your continent breaks only in the Carboniferous period? He has no answer. Why he named them as a Gondwana? Because Gondwana land is one of the richest deposits of a coal, and that is, he studied that in India and named Gondwana land, जहाँ Gonds मिलते हैं, the original inhabitants. Because ये जो है, he said before the Carboniferous, Pangaea and Panthalassa, and after the Carboniferous, that is in the Carboniferous, his theory starts. अब किसी ने उसको question पूछा, क्यों from pre-Cambrian to Cambrian to Devonian, Ordovician, Silurian, in sub-ages में why Earth was only single? ऐसा क्या mechanism हुआ था in the Carboniferous period which resulted into the breaking of Pangaea into two parts? He has no answer. Then he said that there were two forces that were acting. These two forces which were acting is the tidal force of sun and moon. That is, जिससे tides आती है. Tidal force means nothing but the gravitational force of sun and moon, and dusra is the gravitational force of the earth. Now understand, due to the gravitational force of the sun and moon, I am rubbing this part. He said that the North America and South America, this was first figure our Pangaea and Panthalassa. Then he said in the fourth condition that the North America and South America started moving westwards, and this movement of North and South America westwards resulted into the formation of an ocean which we will call it as an Atlantic Ocean. Then he said Africa and India started moving northwards. As Africa and India started moving northwards, यहाँ पे फिर से पानी आ गया and it resulted into the formation of an Indian Ocean. Then he said in the fifth stage, over the period of time, this movement gave rise to the present day arrangement of the continents, जिसमें we find North America, We find South America, we find Africa, we find Europe here, India, Asia, and then Indonesia, etc., or Japan, etc., and the Australia in this region. And what is the sea in between? Mediterranean Sea. So he said that the westward movement of the North and South America resulted into formation of Atlantic Ocean. The northward movement of Africa and India resulted into the formation of Indian Ocean. The original Tethys Sea was reduced in size to form the today's Mediterranean Sea. Was reduced in size to form the today's Mediterranean Sea. Why the continent started moving westwards? He said that the continent started moving westwards because the gravitational pull of sun and moon even today acts to the west. Tidal force jo hai, it is acting towards the west. Why the continent started moving northwards? Due to the attractional force of the earth to the center. देखो, don't use logic, just सुनो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, ये वेगनर कह रहा है. So the gravity, why the continent started moving westwards? Because of the tidal force. Why the continent started moving northwards? Due to the gravitational force. Don't think right hai or wrong hai, we'll see that later on. His theory became very, very hit. 1912. 10 साल बाद उसने सोचा कि he will now modify the theory. And he started giving the theory of geography. He said, कि, what was his near modification? As per his modification, he said that the Rockies and Andes, या कोई भी mountains on the earth were formed because when Sial is floating on Sima, there is a resistance of the Sial. कहाँ पे होगा resistance? Only on the front. And as a result of this resistance, जो पहले का front का part है, वो crumble होता है, and this crumbling results into formation of mountains. Why? Because of the resistance of Sial over Sima. Critics ने पूछा, but in the first stage, you had said that Sial floats on Sima without resistance. Or अब in the second theory, you are saying that Sial is floating on Sima with resistance. He had no answer. And then he said that the formation of island arcs and festoons, ये जो Caribbean island है, etc. He said this islands, arcs and festoons are formed because when the continents is going with great speed, so कुछ part टूट के पीछे रह जाते हैं, resulting into the formation of island arcs and festoons. He said that as North and South America were moving westwards, ये part पीछे रह गया, resulted into formation of Caribbean islands. As India was moving northwards, कुछ part उसका टूट के रह गया, and it resulted into the formation of Sri Lanka. As Asia was moving, कुछ part उसका टूट के रह गया, resulted into the formation of Japan. So this is what his theory was. Getting it? What has happened to the original Panthalassa? The original Panthalassa was reduced in size to form the present day Pacific Ocean. I am quickly repeating the theory. सबसे पहले क्या था? Pangaea and Panthalassa. कौन से period में it broke? In the Carboniferous period. It resulted into the formation of Laurasia land and the Gondwana land. This phase is known as opening up of which sea? It is known as an opening up of the Tethys Sea. Then this Laurasia land further broke into two parts. कैसे याद रखोगे? Even today, except for peninsular India, जो continents north में है, that is North America, Europe and Asia, that was original Laurasia land. While the south, the Gondwana land broke into South America, Africa, India, Australia and Antarctica. Then he said after breaking, they started either moving to the west or to the north. The westward movement of North and South America resulted into opening up of a water body known as an S-shaped Atlantic Ocean. The northward movement of India started opening up a water body resulted into the Indian Ocean. The final movement of the continents gave rise to the present day arrangement of the continents. Present day arrangement में जो original Panthalassa था, it was reduced in size to form the present day Pacific Ocean. While the original Tethys Sea tha, it was reduced in size to form the present day Mediterranean Sea. Now what? And he added something, two things, that is the mountains are formed because when moving Sial is rubbing on Sima and the frontal edge जिस direction में move हो रहा है, in that case, there is a crumbling of the frontal edges resulting into formation of folds, and this results into the formation of fold mountains. That is in case यहाँ पे resistance है, so what will happen? This part will get folded. He said that the island arcs and festoons were formed because some parts remained behind as they could not match the speed. जैसे जब गाड़ी चलती है तो धुआं पीछे रह जाता है. So he said that it could not match the speed, and as a result we have island arcs and festoons. Now this is his theory. If you ask him some questions, what are the forces responsible for drift? कौन से दो forces हैं? Most important forces, tidal force of sun and moon, and second is, that is the gravitational force and the force of buoyancy or the force of flotation. अब tidal force of sun and moon सबसे ज्यादा कौन से दिन होता है महीने में? It occurs on 2 days, Amavasya and Purnima. That is, there was a tidal force very very high इसी महीने में. एक तो normal Amavasya and Purnima, but इस महीने में it was very high because we had the concept of which moon? We had a concept of super moon, we had a concept of blood moon, we have a concept of blue moon. What is that? इतना नजदीक है moon near the surface of the earth that refraction से it looks to us red in color. इतना नजदीक है to the earth that sun का earth का shadow उसके ऊपर गिरता है, and we say is as a Chandra Grahan. That was the time during Amavasya and Purnima. You remember that tidal force is greater. इसीलिए because the gravitational force or tidal force is greater, सारा का सारा movement is attracted towards the sun or moon. But when it is attracted towards the moon, जो solid objects है, they do not move, but पानी move होता है, and we call that as high tide and low tide. High tides are caused due to the force. So I am asking you, ये 5 दिन पहले were you floating in the air या जमीन पे ही चल के आए थे? जमीन पे चल के आए थे. Now apply this. Critics say if the tidal force of the sun and moon cannot be so strong that it can move the continents, it cannot even move the human beings, how it can move the continents? Maximum क्या होता है during Amavasya and Purnima? Fluids get attracted towards the sun and moon. Secondly, maximum ये होता है, there are some people who behave like crazy on Amavasya and Purnima. Why? उसका scientific explanation है. That is, there are fluids in our body, there are chemicals in our body जिनका path destroy हो जाता है. So कुछ लोगों को वो what you say chemical imbalance हो जाता है in the body, and they behave like crazy people. You see, any time during Amavasya and Purnima there will be some people, but it will not cause movement of the continents. Second, when he was asked that, okay, tell the trigger mechanism that is responsible for the movement of the continents, who could not explain कि क्यों Carboniferous period में ही it was removed. Third, when he was asked कि sequence बताओ, क्या पहले टूटा क्या बाद में टूटा, he could not explain. Forces he could not explain, trigger mechanism he could not explain, sequence he could not explain. Fourth, he could not explain properly the formation of mountains and island arcs and festoons, and because of his so many negatives, his theory was initially rejected. If his theory was rejected, why are we studying his theory? So we will, what? Because it was accepted later. So why it was accepted later? Because there have been some of the evidences. I am not doing you all the evidences, but you should see logically. One evidence is, if I want to make Africa, if I make India, if I make Australia, if I make Antarctica, ये पूरा एक साथ fit हो जाता है. And second is share. India is the only country in the world which has both lions and tigers in wild. बाकी lion is found in Africa, tiger is found in Asia. क्यों India has only country in the world जहाँ पे both lions and tigers मिलते हैं? Because India was once a part of Gondwana land. फिर वो ऊपर आके it has become a part of Asia. कहाँ पे मिलता है lion? Eastern India, Western India. Can you see this? So India is the only country यहाँ पे we find Asian animal, that is tiger, an African animal that is lion, जो आज हम कहते हैं एशियाटिक लायन. बाकी और कंट्रीज में नहीं मिलते. पाकिस्तान में भी वैसे मिलना चाहिए, बट दैट इज, ये पूरे एरिया में मिलना चाहिए, बट they were hunted and killed till the time the Nawab of Junagadh decided that he should protect the lion and made Gir sanctuary. So this is one evidence, that is the continents fix into each other, but there are numerous such evidences. So first we'll write his theory. So the Wegener's continental drift theory, talks about rifting and drifting of the continents. Talks about rifting and drifting of the continent. Rifting and drifting of the continents. Rifting and drifting of the continents. Rifting मतलब टूट जाना, and drifting of the continents, which has given rise to present day arrangement of the continents, as well as changes in the climatic regions, of the world. So I guess you today came at 11 o'clock, 11:30. So I'll reduce the class today. I will stop here, and we'll meet, maybe most probably we'll meet on Monday. We can meet on Monday also. पर आप वो टाइम टेबल देख लेना, आपको जो शेड्यूल आएगा, वीकली शेड्यूल, कि मेरी क्लास कब है, जयेश सर की क्लास कब है. विल कंटिन्यू विद द कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थियरी. सिर्फ क्लास में आने से पहले रीड द कॉन्टिनेंटल ड्रिफ्ट थियरी फ्रॉम 11th standard NCERT. It will be very, very easy to follow. Fine with this? इंडिया जा रहा है नॉर्थवर्ड्स, अफ्रीका जा रहा है नॉर्थवर्ड्स. क्योंकि वो वेगनर नहीं बता पाया. क्यों नहीं जा रहे? You will understand with plate tectonic theory. See, we are doing continental drift theory. We are not doing why they are not going. So we should write only Wegener का view. We should not write what is true today. जब अगर क्वेश्चन आता है continental drift theory, you should write what Wegener had said. वो right भी हो सकता है, wrong भी हो सकता है. इसीलिए क्वेश्चन आएगा critically examine the continental drift theory. तो क्यों नहीं जा रहे वो plate tectonic बताता है. So you will have to wait for 2 lectures.